Some days you just got to love Lane Kiffin. I love Lane Kiffin. I can tell you that right now because courtesy of Lane Kiffin in Florida Atlantic last night, I snapped my losing streak. Now, as I mentioned on yesterday's video report, that Tommy Brunson was red hot. Tommy Brunson just couldn't lose. But I thought Tommy Brunson was wrong last night, and that's the one thing as a gambler. You can never lose your confidence. Had I been in a losing streak? Absolutely. But I was 100% certain that you could have taken Akron plus 40 points last night and you were still going to lose. That Akron, a 22.5-point dog, was the wrong side of that game last night. I was that confident when I put my money down on Florida Atlantic last night, when I released Florida Atlantic last night as a top-rated 15-dime play, that Florida Atlantic was the right side of that game. It was more than just the fact that even a stop clock is right twice a day, that I was more than just overdue for a win. Because when you looked at Akron last night and you looked at where Akron came from, the Mid-American Conference, now granted, not a conference that I won a lot of games in, as you know, and I've alluded to many times here on the video report, but when you looked at the quality of play and the style of play that Akron had versus a team like Florida Atlantic with a coach that loves to gamble, you saw it with the onside kick after they scored their first touchdown. You saw it with the numerous fourth down tries, right? You have confidence with that type of gambling-oriented coach in terms of how he's always willing to take chances. You feel confident that that guy is always going to go for it. Hell, the Owls didn't, try their first punt till the fourth quarter last night after 7 consecutive scoring drives at that point? That's why that type of guy, much like Willie Taggart, has always been one of those guys that you can identify with when you're laying points. You know, you can feel confident. I'll give you the antithesis of that type of coach. Andy Reid in the NFL. You never can feel confident laying points with Andy Reid because a guy who's always been known as an offensive guru, you know, a guy that came up through that Bill Walsh coaching tree in terms of always been, you know, so enamored with that West Coast offense. The minute he gets a lead, he likes to sit on it. He likes to get conservative. He likes to then suddenly run the ball instead of trying to put more points on the board. Those are the guys you don't really feel that comfortable laying points. So tonight we have an interesting game here with SMU taking on Louisiana Tech, where you have a team from the American Athletic Conference taking on a team from Conference USA, just like last night. Florida Atlantic, the champion in the regular season and the postseason champion as well from Conference USA, that being Louisiana Tech. The game is the Frisco Bowl. The guy that I found had the big play tonight has been one of the hottest handicappers here at the site, and that has been Brad Wilton as he goes for winner number 10 out of 13 tonight. It's another 100-dime wager. Of course, it matches his 100-dime wager with the Patriots. You talk about being lucky, but then again, lucky or good, it doesn't matter. It was a winner with the Patriots on Sunday. It is a play tonight, and it's over half price off by using coupon code BRAD, and all your other discounts and coupons, etc., are over on the home page. Now, last night, my complimentary play on SMU in college basketball, a 20-point favorite against Cal Poly Slow. It finishes right there on the number, a 20-point win. So let's talk about college basketball tonight. I see Massachusetts is now up to a 5-point favorite at home against Georgia State. I'm going to go with U.Mass at home here in this particular contest. U.Mass, a 6-0 team at home. Panthers coming off an 88-83 loss at Dayton, a Dayton team that last night lost at St. Mary's. A Dayton team I've talked about many times this season. This is not the same Dayton team that you've grown accustomed to talking about in recent years. The Flyers aren't that good. They're just a 500 team right here this season. UMass is coming off a big 72-62 upset of Georgia as a 3-point home dog in its last game. Prior to that, they upset Providence 72-63 as a 4-point dog. You know, they've won 3 straight since losing 4 in a row. You know, I look at the RPI difference between these two teams. UMass ranked 132. Georgia State ranked 225. I'm going to lay the points with UMass in this contest. In the NBA, you have the red-hot Chicago Bulls. What's wrong with that sentence? The red-hot Chicago Bulls, minus 5.5 points at home tonight against the Orlando Magic. Listen, you know, year in, year out, you look at the Orlando Magic, and you see a lot of players that have some nice numbers, and you go, it looks like a fantasy league team that's been poorly constructed, right? That's the problem with the Orlando Magic. You got a lot of guys, oh, this guy scores 18 points, this guy scores 17 points, this guy grabs 10 rebounds a game, but they're not a team. And it doesn't matter who the coach is. They just don't have chemistry on the floor. They're like collecting basketball cards. Again, putting them together on a fantasy league team. They have a lot of individual components, but they don't have chemistry on the floor. And that's the problem with the Orlando Magic. Right now, tonight, they have bigger problems. They have injury concerns. They've got two guys averaging 18.3 points a game, Evan Fournier and Aaron Gordon. They are both out tonight. That's problematic. You look at their last game. They lost Sunday when they opened the road trip at Detroit. You see a final score of 114-110, and you go, oh, well, they played a competitive game considering both those guys missed that game. It really wasn't that competitive. They were down by 17 points at halftime. They have lost 10 of their last 11 games on the road. The Chicago Bulls have won 6 straight games. They've averaged 111 points during that winning streak. Early in the season, I lost money when they went to Orlando. Chicago did, and I backed the Magic. At the time, the Magic had won 6 of their first 8 games. The Bulls, an injury-riddled team at the time, had lost 5 of their first 6 games, and the Bulls kicked their ass in Mickey Mouse Town. I got to ride Chicago here in this particular game tonight. Laying the 5.5 points. They're coming off a win at home against Philadelphia the other night. Granted, Joel Embiid didn't play in that game, and the Sixers had all types of injury concerns, and the Sixers actually were up 8 points late in that game before Chicago went on a late run. But hey, listen, they're playing well, and why not take them against a team that, again, has just totally fallen apart. In fact, I just want to look up here. Oh, the Magic have lost 16 of their last 19 games overall. And again, they've lost 10 of their last 11 on the road. So I'm going to go with the Chicago Bulls and Massachusetts. I like them equally here tonight as your 2 complimentary plays for this Wednesday card. And we'll do this again tomorrow.